Are we live? Oh, my favorites are here. Charles and Andrea and Steven. And I think John's in here too already. Welcome. I'm trying something different. I got my computer next to me to read the chat. I think that's going to be a really good idea because I think I can make it large. I can make it large. And then I'll just make the video stop playing. Excuse me for just not looking at you. I'm kicking the tripod. Is my lighting okay? I think everything's okay. You can see my messy little house. Hello and welcome. If you are new here, my name's Jenny. I go places. I live in the extreme desert and I make videos. So welcome to my live stream, because most of the people that are in here today or right now already know me and have been like chomping at the bit. When are you going live? When are you going live? And now I'm here with pizza. I got pizza because it's back to school. Now, I thought about it after the fact. I probably should have had pizza delivered. I will do that next time. I could have pizza delivered, although, and then have somebody bring it out to me, but I didn't even think about that. So I just went and I got pizza so we can have some pizza. Are you having lunch? Ooh, I gotta be careful. I like get too close to the camera, I start to shine, huh? Oh, Wayne is here too. Hi, Wayne. Yeah, I went, whoa, I'm kicking things. I went a little bit early than I normally do because I am hoping that it won't glitch as much and it'll stream better, because I live in the rural Nevada. Our internet is microwave technology, and sometimes in the past when I've gone live in the evening, I'm competing with everybody in the family because the kids don't necessarily want to turn off devices and everything for me to have bandwidth. So they're in school inside the house because, yes, school has started back in southern Nevada. I believe it started in Modesto too. My god sisters and god brothers started school this week. Dave is in the house. Oh, he's in Portland, Oregon. I normally go to Oregon every fall. I'm just not sure when I'm going to go this year. And Gary, good afternoon from Ohio. And Steve. Hi, Steve. Okay, I'm just catching up on the chat a little bit. But yeah, how is everybody? It's been a little bit of a busy week with school starting. I've got updates here. I got a whole little list of stuff. I got a whole entire list of stuff to go over. Just because I get super excited sometimes and then I forget what I want to say. Right? But I'll let the chat fill in just a little bit. Hi, Glenn. How are you? Is it on fire where you're at? Has it calmed down okay? Many prayers. Oh my gosh, I keep kicking that. Many prayers are needed for lots of people. Put my little cactus up here somewhere. There's my cactus. But lots of prayers are needed. My best friend Raiden, her family is in Maui where the fires are. She lost her childhood home. She is from that town of, I cannot pronounce the town and I don't want to butcher it, but so just prayers, thoughts, things of that nature, good thoughts. It's so sad. It's so sad what's going on. Another Glenn. Oh, the fire was a bit north of you. Okay, that's good. That's good. There was a fire that we had headed towards Vegas. They took care of that. Apparently, I do know the news said that we lost so many Joshua trees that they're afraid they're never going to come back. Kind of don't believe that, because nature has a way of coming back. But we will find out. We will find out. But yes, thankfully, there's been no fires in Pahrump or Death Valley to speak of. We got some rain last week, a little bit of a monsoon, no flooding, not anything like that. And yeah, so let me see what time it is. Okay, we've been about 6 minutes. Look, I'm all excited. Well, I want to answer a couple questions. I guess before I start on like a super announcement, I want to ask a couple questions. I am so thankful and blessed to have a group of people who care about whether or not I'm alive, and how have I been handling this insane heat that we live in Death Valley and Pahrump. And the number one answer is air conditioning. And water and air conditioning. Those are the two biggest answers. So I have an air conditioning unit on my hauler. My hauler's only 200 square feet. My swamp cooler pump took a dump this year. And so I'm trying to figure out whether or not I can actually fix it, or if I have to get a new one. I like the swamp cooler in the morning. It saves me a lot of money on electricity. And usually it's not so humid that you have to worry about it not working. And so usually, like I said, before it went sideways, I would just get up in the morning, have the swamp cooler going, sometimes even run it in the evening, and then as soon as it starts to get too hot, that's when I shut everything up and put the air conditioning on. And ice cream, yes, lots of ice cream. Lots of ice creams and ices and things of that nature. And you just learn to, hi Joe, how are you? You just learn to just deal with the fact that you live in extreme temperatures. Now, this year was really weird. So we went the longest amount of days without 100 degrees. So we broke that record. But then we broke the record of the amount of days that we had 100 degrees in a row. So like it wasn't hot, and then it was just hot. And then the other thing about this year that's really weird is that we haven't had that many 115, 120, 125 days. Usually we have at least 2 weeks of just like, it's 118, it's 121, it's 115, 112. Like we have these really hot days that last for a longer time. We didn't necessarily have that. It's been hot, but it hasn't been that hot. So, and your body just acclimates. Your body acclimates. Would I absolutely think it would be cool to be a snowbird and to leave in the extreme heat and go travel and do some fun stuff? Yeah, that would be really fun. That would be really neat. Hopefully, you know, my life opens up that I'm able to do something like that in the future. But for now, I just live in Death Valley and I live in the heat, and I feel like we all need patches or something. I survived the summer of 2023. Maybe, I don't know. Oh. Joe Pin. Okay, everybody's just chilling. So what else is going on? Shout outs. I have some giant shout outs. My moderator, John, is here. He helps a lot. I have also some shout outs to David, Charlie, Bobby, Robert, and Steve. You folks have been the people who, and I really hope I don't forget somebody. I always get worried that I'm going to forget somebody. But you folks have been the biggest chunk of the backbone for this summer. And I really want to give a giant shout out to you guys. as you're the folks who did the biggest part of making my Death Valley videos come true. So let's get into that. Oh, so Tero is here, and so is Rick. Howdy. Oh, San Fernando, are you sweaty? Are you're probably definitely have humidity. You definitely have humidity. Sooner has humidity, but it's surprising how much humidity is in California. People think that California doesn't have a lot of humidity, but it absolutely does. It absolutely does. So, yeah, we've been about 10 minutes in, so let's talk about what's next. What's coming up? Well, and the reason why I brought up about living in Death Valley is because I've had a lot of folks leave comments about concerns that I'm hiking when it's 110 degrees outside. And I really want everybody to know that I am not hiking when it's 100 degrees outside. I am not. I took my birthday money, because remember we had a birthday fundraiser to get money to go on a trip. I took my birthday money and I went and spent 3 weeks in the park before it was supposed to be hot. Now, technically it got hot. Like one day it was 106. It wasn't supposed to be 106, but it was 106. So naturally, I was able to get some different videos like the ones that you've seen so far. The Furnace Creek and the Furnace Creek Golf Course and things of that nature. So I just really wanted to kind of just touch base with everybody because I'm getting ready to drop. Oh, thank you, John. Ah, yay, John's ahead of the game. Woo! Hopefully that's not too loud for everybody. Yay, thank you. You're starting it off because we are fundraising for fall. We are absolutely fundraising for fall, but I'll get to that a little bit because some people get sensitive about fundraising. So we'll just keep on trucking on all the fun stuff, and then we'll talk about the details later in the live stream. But yes, I am getting ready to drop my. I think I have a series of 4 hikes through the entire Golden Canyon, and I actually probably will have a few more hikes going on there, like because you don't need to know my details. That's okay. That's my little brain thinking. But I really, really, really wanted to tell everybody that loves and cares about me, and in case you're unaware, so far this year, 2 people have perished in Death Valley, and one of them was a gentleman who passed on at the Golden Canyon. Now, that was kind of a unique situation. It wasn't. He unfortunately underestimated the heat and what was really going on, and refused, according to the news, had refused offers of help. So, but I know that that's on people's minds. I know that the heat waves have been on people's minds, and I just really want to tell you that just remember, when you see me hiking in Golden Canyon, I wasn't hiking when hi, John, how are you? I wasn't hiking. I'm not hiking now. I'm not hiking today, right? I'm not. Everything's good. But wait till you guys see these videos. I've got Golden Canyon, Red Rock. I've got Manly Beacon. I finally make it to Manly Beacon. I went to Manly Beacons twice. And actually, the second time I did start to have a little bit of a heat issue. So I'm going to turn that into just a keeping yourself safe video. But yeah. Do I have a Camelback, and how much water do I take on hikes? I absolutely have a Camelback. I keep 3 quarts in my Camelback carries 3 quarts, and if I think of going further and I need further, I have my super amazing water bottle that I love. I love my water bottle. It's down there. It's right around the corner. But you see me, it's silver. Every single time it's in a video, I'm just like, I love the water bottle. Thank you. Because that was a gift for me. Rick says a friend drove into Death Valley and his tires were starting to smoke. The ranger told him to go back out because he had a small car and small tires, and those tires generate too much heat. Yeah, that I could see that happening. They just had to remove a car from Death Valley from 2 people who survived, but they got disoriented or thought that they could like cut across this area, it would be faster, but then that doesn't make any sense. And to me, I'm like, okay, you must have heat stuff going on because that makes no sense at all, right? But the car just started to overheat. It absolutely started to overheat. So, you know, there's a lot. There's a lot. You have to be really safe about going into Death Valley. And I just realized after another video that I had posted that, yeah, I can do some silly things sometimes, but hiking when it's 110 outside is not something that I'm going to do. And I just, you know, want to touch base. But I'm excited because everybody who loves my hiking videos, I know Miles and Hikes. I know you requested the hiking video, and so you'll get that next week. And they might be coming up to Death Valley this fall, which would be really cool because we could do a collab. I'm not sure. I don't know how to. Oh, Cody just snuck in. Hi, Cody. How are you? I'm not sure how to link them, but you can find them for sure on Instagram, Miles and Hikes, and you can find them on YouTube, and just really cool. They just go places. And then also, so let's talk about fall a little bit. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me look at my list. Let's look at the list. Actually, I'm getting a piece of pizza because that's what we're here for. We're here for lunch and we're here for pizza. I really was vibing on remembering back when I used to work in like an office about the whole like, oh, it's Friday, we're gonna buy you pizza. We're gonna pay you crap, but we'll buy you pizza. And so then that's where I came up with like, hey, let's have a pizza party. Right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna open this up. Let me see what the list says though. Let's see what the list says. Okay, what's up next? Oh, see, this is not so bad. Want to see how YouTubers take thumbnails? This is what they do. They like do it in the middle of the video. They're like, oh. We'll use that as a thumbnail when it's all said and done. Ah, pizza! Oh, I'm being silly. But that's okay. Okay, what else is coming up though? We have more things coming up. Hold on. Yeesh, I gotta stay still. I'm getting blown out. I don't know. Does it look weird to you guys? I don't need that. There we go. Maybe that's a little better. Yes, it's not so bad. For pizza, in Pahrump, it's slim pickings for like really, really good pizza. I have to wait till Courtney comes back from the Kit Fox. That Courtney comes back to Dacopa, to the Kit Fox. They make the best sourdough pizza ever. The only person who made pizza better than the Kit Fox is Bobby at the Junction, at Death Valley Junction. And I can't tell whether that's just because it was at the Junction or whether it's really that much better. But of course, that's still my favorite pizza whatsoever. The breakfast pizza that Bobby used to make is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And Cody, I could have invited you for pizza. Okay, next time. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe this winter we can have like a meet and greet type of thing, and we can all meet for pizza. That could be, we have pizza. We could do it at the Kit Fox. That could be really cool. have like a weekend where you just hang out and just be there, be at the hot springs. I kind of like this idea. This is not a bad idea. Not a bad idea whatsoever. I just realized I don't have a plate. So, let me just grab a napkin. Just grab a napkin. So I can get a piece of pizza. You like my cute dress? It's summertime. And the living is not easy. Life is not easy right now, folks. I'm sure it's not easy for you either. Yes, I got a box. I got a whole pizza box. Well, technically, once I'm done with my live stream, I'll share with the kids. They get leftover pizza. They get leftover pizza. So what else is coming? I have Death Valley videos coming. Thank you, Charles. It is. It's vintage. It's actually from the 60s. I love vintage things. Jenny Palooza. Cody. Cody said it first. Jenny Palooza. Maybe we do that at the end of the year, like a big end of the year blowout. If the world doesn't blow up itself first. So many crazy things going on in the world, right? Like in my little bubble and Pin in the Atlas little bubble, who, by the way, I am just having a brain fart. Does everybody know that Pin in the Atlas has a channel? Does everybody know that my moderator, John Sooner, has a channel? I was giving Miles on Hikes a big shout out, but if you don't know that Pin in the Atlas, they do what I do, not really. They actually travel. They live on the road and they go all over the United States. And they live in Tonto. So they're not a part-time fake mom to and homeschooling two children, caring for their brother and attempting to have a YouTube channel at the same time. We are completely different. I joke though. And then John has a YouTube channel also, and sometimes he will serenade you with his guitar. So that is great. Oh, Shakey's Pizza and root beer was the best. Oh, root beer in the cup. For sure, root beer is in the cup. And Shakey's Pizza, love Shakey's Pizza. I was a kid. I don't know if for those of you who aren't from the West Coast, I don't know if it's anywhere but the West Coast. Somebody's going to have to tell me. Charles says Shakey's Pizza's still around. Joe says she's remember it. And Cody says Pin is Atlas because they get his dumb jokes. Aww. Aww. I love that. Andrea gets my jokes too, and sometimes they're so weird. She just has to like grab them out of the air and be like, oh, okay, I get you. Oh. And yes, John, thank you. We don't want every channel the same. And I can guarantee there is no channel like me. There is no channel like me. I get it. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. God made you unique, and there's nobody else like you. You have your own unique personality, your own unique persona, your own unique everything. But for sure, I know there's nobody like me. I'm a little nuts. Shakey's is in Van Nuys in North Hollywood. What? I might be taking a trip to California. I might be taking a trip to California. I will make a note about Shakey's. And Steve used to go to Shakey's as a kid, and they used to play old-time movies. I just remember as a kid, Shakey's was like red outside. Like it was like, it wasn't like Pizza Hut, but it was like the old Pizza Huts, you know, with the red and like the almost like the red Tiffany looking glass chandeliers over top. But I remember Shakey's had the buffet, and so when my mom would take us there, it was like I could get the pizza I wanted. I could get what I wanted. It was like, yes, that and Sizzlers. Have you folks known about Sizzlers? My brother and I were talking about Sizzlers the other day. Oh my gosh, they used to have over 500 restaurants, Shakey's did. They have all but 20 or so are in the Philippines. Rick loved the piano player while he was eating because they had like a piano player thing. And is Shakey's something to do with Scooby-Doo? I don't think so. Somebody's going to have to tell me. If Shakey's has something to do with Scooby-Doo, I do not know. I do not know. So, let me take another bite of pizza. Oh my gosh. Okay. Probably should have ate before I got on. That's okay. So, we got Death Valley hikes coming up. We have junction videos coming up. I have so many videos, I might drop an extra one here and there because I've kind of got a stockpile, which is great and all, but I'm already making more videos. So every once in a while, I might throw a second one out there for the week. And also, hi Karen. How are you? Karen sent me the coolest Jello Lego mold that you take your Jello jigglers and you pour it into the Lego mold and then you make Lego Jello jigglers. And we've done it twice and I keep forgetting to film it. They are so super cool. They are so super cool. Well, John, I had to have a few videos in the tank because I mean, I always say it, but I just like to remind folks because a lot of people don't know. I had a viewer email me recently that's been watching me, I know, for 2.5 years and had no idea that my full-time job is helping my brother raise his children and that I homeschool them. And I help my brother because he has health issues. Like, they had no idea that that even existed in my life. And I was like, huh, okay. I guess because I don't really talk about it, I don't make videos about it. You know, I'm always out and about doing stuff. But I was like, oh no, I'm here. You know, like I have responsibilities. So I thought that was different. But I need to do a shout out real quick before I forget on my list, because I keep getting distracted a tiny bit, is Robert, this is a different Robert. I need to make, and if he's watching, I need you to know, you sent me a package of things to go in video in the local area, and it's happening. I did not forget about you. It's just been a little too warm, and I'm super grateful. Among the things that he sent me, this is one of them. And it is an excerpt of the Frank Crampton story of Mr. Lemoyne that's in the book that I have. But it also has a couple of things that are a little bit different. It has some information that wasn't in the actual book. It's got some pictures that aren't in the actual book. And it has a song. And so I will say that if I'm mixing up Ronald and Robert, please forgive me, because I just had this poof in my head that, oh no, I think his name might be Ronald. Anyways, if you sent me this book, everything else that was with it is getting made into a video. And I apologize to everybody that's watching right now. Like, what is it? Oh my gosh, what are you doing? You're just going to have to wait and see. You're just going to have to wait and see. I got scammed too many times last year for me to open my mouth anymore. But I just really wanted you to know, because I will say that he sent me that package about 2 months ago. And so I've been a little slow on the uptake to get these videos that he requested to be done. I do take all of everybody's requests very seriously. If you ask me to go somewhere, if you ask me to please make a video about something, I do take that request very serious. And I actually have a book. Let me find it right here. I got this book right here, and it goes in the book. It goes in the book, and then I can just pull from them. I just know that this was very specific, and it included funds to be able to accomplish it. And so I just want to be able to communicate, and because you know me and transparency, I just say, hey, it's happening. I didn't forget about you. I just been, living. John says, you do talk about the children in some of your videos. You should not expect you to tell us everything. Exactly. Everybody should realize there is not a single person online that you know everything. Don't forget that. Do not forget that. I tell you a lot of stuff, but I don't tell you everything, and neither does anybody else. I don't even show a lot of stuff, right? So you gotta keep your imagination going. And even as a celebrity, Jenny should have some sort of a private life, and a little mystery is acceptable. Absolutely, absolutely. And besides, my brother's not a YouTube star, but if I've mentioned before, if you are interested in comedy, if you're interested in Lego, my brother has Desert Brick Builders on Instagram, and he makes the funniest scenes. He makes the funniest scenes out of his Lego. He uses Lego to deal with his complex PTSD from war. He's even relied on it even more in the last 8 months. The update, I'm sure some of you have been wondering. I do have a tiny update for you. We did spend 2 weeks in Vegas getting some tests done with my brother. I'm going to have a video of the Fisher House coming, because it's just this amazing thing that they have for us. Only to come to find out that the doctor didn't order the right tests. So, super cool. The test that he had done, and we had to go to Vegas and spend the overnight, found something, they took care of it, and hey, everything else is healthy, but it wasn't the test that he was supposed to have to determine whether or not his pancreas is working properly. So, and I just roll my eyes, because January is when we started this. January we started this process, and it is still today that we don't know what's going on, and he's living in a pain level of anywhere from 4 to 8 on a daily basis. And I know he is not alone. I know he is not alone. I know that there are a lot of veterans that watch my channel, and then there's a lot of veterans. Jim, like my friend Jim, he's having a hard time getting his help. It's just nuts. It's nuts. I'm not trying to complain. I just feel for everybody, because you guys just, you earned the right for someone to make sure that you're okay. And I just had no idea really what the system was like until this year. Let's see. Sierra John says, I enjoyed your video at Furnace Creek Visitor Center. Steve says he will check it out. Mobile Tech is a veteran. Yes, I know this. It's the VA. It's not surprising. Shaking my head. Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like it's been there. I just never noticed it. And by no means are we alone in the boat, right? Nobody's alone in the boat. But Desert Brick Builders, you can find the link on my YouTube page for sure. Desert Brick Builders is he makes the funniest scenes, because he makes scenes with his Lego. Like the other day, he made a scene of Kermit getting arrested from the museum because he was drinking his tea. I'm like, what? Because you know the meme of Kermit always sipping his tea? You know, it just really keeps him busy. And it's very creative. Oh, great, Mobile Tech. Email me the secret. Email me the secret, because we've tried all kinds of things. I even took that class. Like, I even took this class about all these things you could do for veterans, and then at the end they were just like, well, you're not allowed to really help any veterans, and here's a little sticker because you took a class and now you know everything that you can learn online. Because pretty much everything I learned is just reading what they give you. It was so weird. It was so, so weird. Oh yeah, John, don't get arrested drinking your tea. And the visitor center in Furnace Creek, says Sierra Johns, for sure go check it out when it's cooler. You for sure can, it's so lovely. It's so, so lovely to be there in the not hot time. You just hang out. There's camping. I want to camp. I definitely want to try camping this fall in the park, like with a tent, not just in my car. A different kind of camping. And yes, that is great timing, John. That is absolutely great timing, because the ugly truth of the world today, and I know you know this, and so trigger warning, if anybody's going to get upset because I'm talking about money, then just fast forward a few minutes, because we're going to talk about money for a second, because the ugly truth is everybody's having a hard time. Everybody's having a hard time. I'm having a hard time. You're having a hard time. Pin is having a hard time. I mean, maybe not everybody's having the same kind of hard time, but a lot of us are having and I should try, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about collabs, but if you would like to contribute to the fall adventures into Death Valley, into Beatty, and I am working on trying to get the details together and the funds together to go to Mono Lake in California, because I really think that going somewhere that's green and with water might be a really good idea for my mental health. Because I've been really working on that. It's a side note that nobody knows about. I've been doing a lot of heavy lifting. A lot of heavy lifting in life. I have a PayPal, but you can find me at JenniGives. I have a Venmo. You can super chat into YouTube. You can mail me money if you would like. I do request, if you mail a money order, please just put Jenny, because in case you weren't aware, Gives is not my actual last name, and so the post office always gives me a hard time when I cash them. I do have a Patreon. My Patreon, I want to just address that really quick. I've had a Patreon for over a year and a half now, maybe 14 months. Originally, I had the super exciting idea that I was going to do all this special content because my friends Pin, they do so many cool things on their Patreon. If you subscribe to their Patreon, you get like extra stuff. You get extra videos and things of that nature. Well, I underestimated that I wouldn't be able to do extra content, because I already do content on like 7 platforms. And so it just ended up being, it's a tip jar. It is absolutely a tip jar, just like Sarah Wonder Hussey. And so if you're interested, I have one Patreon. His name's Steve. And so if you would like to be a Patreon, a second Patreon, or a third maybe, feel free. I only have 2 options, $1 or $5. Because I really am just using it as a tip jar. I do have an Amazon list. I absolutely have an Amazon list. John will drop it in there in just a second. And I put things on there. Right now, the things that are on there are a little bit more for just for me to survive. As soon as the weather kicks away in a moment. And actually the weather, you know, gets a little not gonna burn me up and make me shrivel and die. Then I'll have a little bit more like camping stuff, like I put camping food on there. But right now I've got things. I've got things like what do I have on there? What do I have on my Amazon list right now? I think I have a new dress on there that I liked. On occasion I put Lego on there. I gave a giant shout out. Somebody sent me Lego succulents. And I love these because I can travel and I can do things and they're not going to die. Aren't those the coolest ever? They are so cool. I've been getting into Lego art with the family, and I have my own Lego page you can find from the links below. That's kind of a side note. And lastly, the last way that you will be able to support me, because I would love to be able to continue to do this in the way that I've already been doing it. If I can't continue it and travel as much as I've been able to, that's okay. I'm not going to leave you. I'm not leaving. I'm just going to, you know, probably be doing a little bit more commentary, which is okay too, because there is so much to talk about in Pahrump. There's so much to talk about in Pahrump. Like, nobody talks about the real stuff of Pahrump. And I love Pahrump, and I love it more than anything, but sometimes it's just like, are you kidding me? How come nobody's like talking about this? Hi, John. The other John. Not the North Backwoodsman. I love that river you sent me. You sent me this picture of a river the other day, which is what triggered my whole, I think I need to go and touch some grass. I think I need to go touch some grass and go get in some water. And Mobile Tech, okay, so we're going to go backwards for just a moment. Mobile Tech is paying $6 for a loaf of bread. Absolutely. I am also. And I'm with you, Joe, because Joe says, I'm having a hard time accepting hard times. Oh, boy. So I have been struggling with that this whole year. And I know you have, and I know other people have. And I know some people, maybe it's not that heavy on them. But it is, and I've said this before, I said this on my birthday, I remember, it is very, very different to accept that the world we were born into just doesn't exist anymore. Just doesn't, you know? And, but I have been working personally on myself and learning to love myself better, and learning to forgive myself, learning to, I mean, those are the two biggest things, because learning to love yourself and learning to forgive yourself are like huge, right? And that I want to figure out a way to be happy in the middle of the apocalypse. I'm going to be happy in the middle of the apocalypse. I am. And John says, we can't have too many Johns. No, you can't. There's a lot of Johns, right? John 1, John 2. At one point, I had 4 Larrys on my channel. Now I think I only have Larry, Aguilar, and Joyce. I used to have 4 at one point. And it says, ask yourself about when Mobile Tech, who has a channel himself, who says, okay, now, here, I'm going to ask the question, but do not type into the chat. Don't type into the chat the answers, and I can't say the answer out loud, okay? We do not need any more kind of not promoting people, because I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard that every single creator, from people who have a million, people who have a 500,000, people who have 250,000, people who have 100,000, people who have 50,000, people who have 10,000, something's up with YouTube. Something's been going on with YouTube. Something's going on with ad revenue. Something's going on with AI. There's weird stuff going on that is beyond all of our controls. Like, there's just weird stuff. I'm trying not to think about it. That's why I'm just like, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going and pretend. We gotta get to 10,000 though. I got a big giveaway at 10,000. I do. I have some really special stuff that I'm going to give away at 10,000 subscribers. Things that you can't buy anymore from the Junction. I've been collecting. But what Mobile said was, ask yourself when this all started coming about. Ask yourself what huge thing changed and what's causing all this crap in the world today. We all know. We all know. Oh! Rocket! Rocket! Yes! Thank you! Yeah! That's, I can't even play. It's like, I like to, woo! That's like shake the money maker, man. Woo! Oh my God, thank you. That is absolutely, because I want you guys to know I work really well with a very small budget, because I managed with my birthday budget, which was about $250, to make, I went hiking in Death Valley at least 9 times. At least 9 times. And then I gathered video each time. So I will have you know that absolutely, thank you so much, Rocket. That's going to go so far. Because even though it costs $6 to make a loaf of bread, guess who makes bread? Guess who cooks? I'm the lunch lady. I'm going to make a short. I keep saying this. I'm going to make a short and just show all the food that I make. Because I cook. I cook. I don't do a lot of cleaning other than in my home, you know. But, oh, Michael! Everybody say yay and hi to Michael. He made it out of Dodge. Yay! Michael made it out of California. Yeah, when times are rough, it's good to work in a restaurant. I absolutely have been looking for work. I have been looking for work. My responsibilities with the children that I have accepted as a mission, and then it exploded. I have been looking for part-time work, just to be able to get some kind of cushion again. To just get some kind of cushion again. We won't talk details, but all this fundraising is absolutely needed, and you'll get your return. I promise. I promise. So what else we got? And yeah, you want to talk about gossip and Pahrump? Absolutely. I think there's a lot about that. There's a lot of gossip that we could talk about in Pahrump, and actually it doesn't even have to be gossip. It just be pointing out facts, which I'm sure a lot of people will think is gossip. And yes, Michael's in Idaho. Michael, I have an email. If you email me, I will reply. Sometimes it takes me a few days, but I do reply. And I do have a P.O. box, which is JenniGives at P.O. Box 9364, Pahrump, Nevada, 89060. And I'm getting ready to send out end of summer postcards. So if you've ever sent me mail with your return address, or you've ever sent me a postcard, know that you then get put on the list and you'll get mail at some point. You will get mail at some point. And this, look at, I got this from Loyal. How cool is this? Oh, Charlie, you're the best. Thank you so much. Yes! Yay, we're going to fund fall, guys. It's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen. Isn't this neat? It's like a leather box to put stuff in. Yes, Steve? You are the lonesome Patreon. But you know what? One person can make a big difference. Right? Because they can. I just realized I totally forgot. Katie! Hi, Katie! I totally forgot the biggest announcement of all. And I've made this announcement last year. I made this announcement last year, and then I got afraid. I absolutely got afraid. Because I know you don't see it, but I've got I've been working on some really big self-esteem issues. And I am recovering from some very intense periods of time where what's the best way to say this? Where I was unaware that I was like a little light to the narcissistic, abusive assholes that like to abuse people. So, and that's like big ones. Like these are things that are like, hi, you thought you could escape from us, but we're here. And so I've been working really, really hard on that and working on my self-esteem. And I was really afraid to branch out and start my store. And I mentioned that before. I know I mentioned that in December, and I might have mentioned it in February, and that I was going to start a small Etsy store, and I'm going to sell my antiques. I used to have like a little area, like, and I flipped antiques, and I really think that that's a great way to bring some money in for the channel, and that's part A of that situation. So I've finalized, I've taken pictures, I'm about ready to put stuff up, so you'll hear the announcement of that. And then also I am starting to do art again. And I am an artist, and I am doing art again, and I am going to be selling art. And I'm going to be selling art of our area, and I've just got art. And I've already been teasing about it a little bit. One of the things that I'm working on with is a Polaroid SX70 camera. And I'm making some really neat art. It's called a Polaroid lift. And you'll see soon. You'll see soon. So I have both of those things, these things coming. So I feel very confident that between all of us together, people like Charlie and Rocket and David and Bobby and Robert and John and everybody and anybody that sponsors me with my Amazon list, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Okay, I think that's all the heavy lifting. I'm pretty sure that was all the heavy lifting of like, hey, this is what I got going on, and I need your help. So, what time is it? Okay, it's been about an hour. I should probably take another bite of pizza. Oh my gosh. I'm glad I have a list. The last thing, so where we stand. We are 1/3 of the way funded for our fall trips. Thank you, Rocket and Charlie and John. If you're watching this after the fact, feel free to make some donations. Feel free to, New York to Nevada. It's okay that you just got here. You just missed all the paperwork. We did a lot of stuff, and then we did some paperwork. But welcome. there is something you would like me to cover in the area of Death Valley Junction, Shoshone, Pahrump, Tacopa, Beatty, anywhere in Nye County, please email me because I will potentially be able to add it to the list for fall. Other things coming up for fall, we have a lot more Pahrump content because we have got our fall festival. And I'm going to start just talking about Pahrump because Pahrump is weird. I love it to death, but there's just stuff. Like, let's just talk about Pahrump restaurants for a second. Yes, Beatty Days are the end of October, and I will be there. I will absolutely be at Beatty Days. I'm going this year. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I was thinking I could make myself like a donkey costume or like some kind of like, I mean, I guess I don't want to walk around looking like a jackass. I already do that anyways. But I think I think I want some kind of like donkey thing or something. No music festivals. They're not doing the Pahrump Music Festival anymore. That was a bust. That was definitely a bust. Oh, there's used to be a Shakey's in Sparks, Nevada? No way. No way. But let's talk Pahrump for a second, because it's been on my mind, just the restaurants. Tacos Fiesta is getting ready. You guys know all about Tacos Fiesta. They're getting ready to open a second location. It was supposed to open on the 1st, so I think they're having a few, they're just waiting for the inspection possibly, because it's already 11th and I have to go and check with Manuel. So that's happening, and it's like a sit-down restaurant. And then, but there's just some funny things. My brother and I were talking about this, so let's just gossip for a second. You want to gossip? Can we gossip about Pahrump? Because when you folks come to visit, I want you to not get duped. And Katie, she's near Seattle. It's moist, gloomy, and only 70 degrees. What? It's not moist. It's hot here. I don't know. I think I'll take dry heat over moist. And the Thai restaurant. Yes. Okay, I'm going to do the Thai restaurant next. But Pahrump is really... Okay, so Pahrump was basically founded in, like, the 70s. Like, people were here way before that, right? I'm not trying to say that there was nobody here before the 70s. But people, there's really farmers out here. Up until the farmers sold the land, and then the land scam guys, the Rosen brothers, were like, haha, we're going to sell swampland in Pahrump, and did this whole thing about selling land. And so we're really kind of a new town. And so if you, New York to Nevada, Mrs. Capriotti's, they were inside the Nugget. They were inside the casino. So there's a few things you need to know when you come to visit Pahrump. Number one, you cannot trust online food reviews. You absolutely almost always have to take at least 1 star off. Okay? That's because we're such a small town that everybody pads their reviews. So like the restaurant will open and they call all their friends and family and say, hey, will you leave 5-star reviews for us? Which I'm not saying that other people in the world don't do that. I'm just trying to tell the average person that comes through town, and you look at Yelp or you look at Google and you're like, oh my gosh, this place has a 5-star review, and who's this random person that just said they had crap? Well, so there's that. And you have to take another ½ star off if it's sometimes, because there's a lot of people who don't like salt out here. And you need salt to cook, but they don't like salt. So that's the first thing. Any review you see, you have to take at least 1 star off. There are very few 5-star restaurants in town, and I would even not give 5 stars to Manuel or Mai Tai, because there's always room for improvement, right? There's always room for improvement, but 4.5 stars is pretty good. But if you look at the review and you see like random reviews that seem very Pollyannic, that often is a fake review. We also have at least 100 and something realtors that live out. Lately, the gossip has been the local food critic review, the food critic group. So if you're on Facebook, I encourage you to join the Pahrump and surrounding areas food critic page. And I don't know if I can, it's got like the header of it says foodie out of crackers or cookies or something, but it's a fun little page. It kind of talks about all the different restaurants. Unfortunately, the one thing I don't like about it is that they allowed businesses to advertise since COVID, because it used to just be reviews whatsoever. It just only reviews, but now they let businesses advertise. So you gotta take that with a grain of salt. But if you just want to see some funny small town stuff going on, it's hilarious on some levels, because you'll have somebody who will come in and who they're leaving an honest review, right? Like, I leave a lot of reviews on the food critic page. I tend to not leave negative reviews because of what I'm going to tell you about. So, like, for instance, last week we had some lady that went somewhere and she didn't have a good time. She didn't have a good time. She didn't enjoy the service. She didn't enjoy the food. And she just said that. She wasn't mean. She just said, hey, I didn't really like it. I don't know what all the big hubbub's about. Well, then inside the comments, oh, you get all these old timers. And then they start attacking the people. And I know that's how online drama is, but like, I just find it hilarious trying to read the food critic page, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you can like literally tell the restaurants not to go to is if you say, hey, I didn't enjoy that, and then random people tell you you're stupid and that you shouldn't say that. That you shouldn't say that. I find that hilarious. I find that I get to, in my mind, I'm just like, oh my gosh, can't she just say she didn't enjoy her food? You know, and no, oh my gosh. Then they'll turn comments off because you got the admins who sometimes don't like that their friend's business is getting like thrown under the bus or something. And so it's like drama. That's how I don't watch television. If I want drama, I just go spend a half hour on the food page. I know that might not be very exciting to some people, but I don't know. I don't watch TV. I don't watch cable. I watch YouTube videos, and I randomly think that the real life weirdness of the local food group is more funny than just regular stuff. But that's the thing. That's one piece of advice I would give anybody that is coming to Pahrump, is that take every online review with a grain of salt, because there really is and it's almost like circling of the wagons, which I guess is okay, you know. Like, I don't know, you know, if my mom left a comment that said, oh, this is the best YouTube channel ever, would I want her to say that it was my mom? I don't know. I guess I could see where she wouldn't. But it is weird sometimes, because you'll find reviews that are just like, you own that restaurant. Of course you're going to say it's amazing. You own the damn place, right? I don't think you're supposed to be leaving your own reviews. Oh my God. So that's my rant. That's my rant about our local food, is that our restaurant reviews are sometimes fake, and there's not very many places in town that are consistent. My guess as to why that's the case is that Nye County, even though we are the 3rd largest county in the United States, has only one health inspector, and she only is allowed to work 25 hours a week. Go figure. So there's that too. You got to be careful. You got to use your own judgment, because the poor lady doesn't even have time. I mean, sheesh, it takes 5 hours to drive to Tonopah. How you, I don't even understand. I don't comprehend how we don't have a food inspection, but we don't. We only have one, and she only gets to work part-time. So let's go to that. There's my rant, okay? See, I rant sometimes. I rant. I pretend, sometimes I think I don't rant, but I rant for sure. You know, and like I said, I love that group, but go join it. Go join it. Get to know the local restaurants. That's when you come to town. You know what you want to try. If you're really confused, you can send me an email. I'll tell you the truth. And so let's go to some chat for a second, because Capriotti's used to be in the Nugget, and now Capriotti's is gone and Jimmy John's is coming in. We do have a Chipotle coming to town. Charles says he would give Sonic and Pahrump 4 stars. It depends on who's working, I would say. John says you need at least 2 grams of salt per day if you're sweating a lot. If you're not sweating, then 6 a day is max before it starts to get bad. That is a good tip. Extra salt if you're sweating. That absolutely makes sense now why for the last 2 weeks around 3 o'clock in the afternoon I crave salt like nobody's business. Like I'm like, can I just lick salt off my hand? I was putting salt on these little pretzel bites that I got from Albertsons the other day. Oh geez. And it says they did change the setup. Yes. So John mentioned that they changed the setup for the links on YouTube. And so all my links are on my front page. You can find my regular Instagram, which is where I post the most. If you honestly want to be all up in Jenny's life and be like, hey, what's Jenny doing? That's Instagram. It has my brick account. It has my brother's brick account. It has help for veterans if you're feeling suicide. I can't say that word because I'll get dinged. If you are feeling like hurting yourself, please, there's a link there for you. Hi, Anthony. Yasu, you made it. There's a link to my Facebook account. The only account that I do not link anywhere is my Tickety Talk. Why? Because I do not encourage anybody to download Tickety Talk. And often my good videos, I just go ahead and post them on YouTube. But if you would like to find me on Tickety Talk, I am there. And I've been there for years. I sometimes go live on there. There's 4 Shakey's Pizzas in San Bernardino, California. Jeez. I guess they still survive. They're just not in the, they're just outside of the California. And then, oh, Pin is asking how that works. It's really easy. It's under your customization, Pin. And then already I think that's where you would have put your Facebook link or you would have put your blog link. They're just allowing it to have more links and they're connecting it onto our name. Tell us about your tattoos. And oh, Mobile Tech missed the rant due to a phone call. It's okay, Mobile Tech. I just ranting about the food around here. I just wish people would keep it a little more real and not try and trick people. Because mainly, like, that's the other thing that's been going on is that you've got somebody who's like, oh, I had this most great meal. I had this great meal. And then I go down and I don't have a great meal because I'm not family or I'm not a friend. And that's a bummer, right? Like, if you go to Manuel's restaurant, you get the same taco as I get. We get the same burrito. He doesn't make my burritos special for me. You know, every once in a while I do get samples of things he wants to sample. I do get samples sometimes. But you know what I'm saying? Like the burrito I get is the same as that Andrea gets, the same as John gets, the same as Michael gets. So he's all consistent. And let's see. Oh, we'll talk about the tattoos in just a moment. So Katie's crazy about salt. And yeah, one food inspector, right? One food inspector for over 40,000 people in just one town alone. 25 hours. Tell me that she is doing something. I don't know what she's doing. I really don't. The Chipotle is not open yet. It is still being built. Mobile Tech says, I mostly feel like hurting other people nowadays. LOL. Okay. Are you talking about like when you have that moment where you feel like you could just, you have like I have moments. Okay, hold on to your hats, everybody, because I do have moments where I feel like in another world, I'm in another universe, I'm like running and I'm just jumping, like a drop, to just drop kick you. Like, did you guys see that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once? That movie was intense. It was just so much going on. But how she like would snap from one reality to the other reality. And I was like, I think like that sometimes because, and then I had to stop and say, oh Lord, please give me patience because I am not a violent person. But sometimes you just want to shake people and say, please have common sense. Please, please have common sense. Oh God. And McDonald's has gone nuts with their prices. I don't go there any longer. I don't. We went to McDonald's last month for the Grimace shakes. The kids did really good with all of their chores and all their responsibilities, and they wanted Grimace shakes, and I'm not going to be the one to say, hey, you earned a reward and you can't have a milkshake, even though we don't normally eat at McDonald's. And surprisingly, it was okay. I would not recommend. We have, honestly, what seems to be the worst McDonald's in the world. Probably not, but that's what it seems like. So, but we went and had the Grimace shake. Nobody died. Everybody was fine. But tell us about your tattoos. Okay. Let's talk about tattoos. So, this is a good question. This is a tattoo. It is a watercolor tattoo of part of a rainbow. It's blues and pinks and purples. I do believe that my pinks are getting lighter with the sun. Either that or I'm tanning. This tattoo came from a sociology study that I was a part of. I'm not sure if you folks have heard about Freakonomics. It was really big in the early 2000s. It's a book about economics and sociology. It was called Freakonomics. They also made a book that came after that. It was turned into a documentary. It just talks about sociology and economics and how they connect with each other. And so for their second book, they did a online, be part of our book, okay? And so it was, you had to make a decision based on a coin toss. And so the way the study was set up is that you had to pick something to decide based on a coin toss. And they had huge things. They were huge things. They were like quitting my job, moving, getting a divorce, getting married. There were some other things that weren't so, like, you know, getting a new haircut, getting a tattoo, and maybe a couple other things. And so, I mean, they're world known. They're definitely world known. But they had this, so I was part of this study thing. So you went through about 4 or 5 pages of, you picked what you wanted to choose from. And you picked, like, okay, so like I could have picked, do I want to get, you know, do I get married? Do I break up with my boyfriend? Do I get divorced or whatever? But I didn't have anything of that going on. So I had picked a tattoo. And they walked you through these different psychological questions that would help you decide whether or not you really wanted to potentially make this choice. And at the very last minute, they say, okay, even though we know you're part of this study, we need you to do whatever the coin tells you to do. So if you want to leave and not be part of the study in the coin toss, here's your exit. So if you thought you were going to get a divorce and then you go through the psychological stuff and then you decide, you know what, I don't want to do, what if the coin tells me to do it? I don't want to do it, then you can leave. Well, I didn't leave. I went in, and then I flipped the coin, and the coin came out and said, you're getting a tattoo. It said, yes, you are going to get a tattoo. So, yes, Stephen Levitt. That's his name, Stephen Levitt. And Levitt and somebody else. And John, yes, there's a whole nother book I didn't know about until after the fact, that there's a whole book about making choices with your coin. That's how we got to here today. Because I gave you guys a survey, and then it was like, live, hike, yeah, we want hikes, but then the majority of the people were like, we don't care, just do something, please. And so then I flipped the coin, because somebody said flip a coin, so I was like, okay, let's go live. Ha! Gordon and Levitt, maybe? And so, oh, hi, RJ and number one. I missed it, you came in. So I had to get a tattoo. Then it took me about 1.5 years to figure out what I wanted. I didn't want words. I didn't want an image. I wanted watercolor. And actually the time that it took for me to decide gave my artist, my tattoo artist, who was a friend of mine from art school, because I am an artist. That's why I got the rainbow and the paint. It actually, I don't know, can I lean in here? You can see how it's like little drips of paint going on here. I gotta plug my phone in, hold on. There we go. He's an artist and a painter, and so that's how he is able to make it look so good. I mean, he's better than some of the people that were on Ink Master that year for watercolor. And then so I got a tattoo. And I see some of you are like, oh, no way. I would not. There's no way. I couldn't. I don't like needles. I hate needles. I'm deathly afraid of needles, Michael. But tattoos are different. I don't know. Tattoos aren't going in my skin, I guess, is why I think about it. And Anthony is, yeah, Anthony, you're silly. You're silly. And they were saying, due to mathematics involved in the world of chance, if I let the coin toss affect my decisions, the world would not be as populated as it is right now. Yeah, Martin Levitt. Joe. Hi, Joe. Joe, people are asking about my tattoos. And so I started with this one. But I have more. I have more tattoos. So, yeah, I'll look it up really quick. Let's see. Freakonomics. Dubner and Stephen Levitt. Stephen Dubner and Stephen Levitt. It's both Stevens. But yeah, and so I'm part of their coin toss study in their second book. So there's that. Then I have, hold on, bees on my knees. I have bees on my knees for 2 reasons. One, because I'm the bee's knees. No, 3 reasons actually. I'm the bee's knees. I have a matching tattoos with my daughter. She has bees on her knees. And it's also to remind us about the Beatitudes, which is a verse in that book that YouTube doesn't like, talking about how, you know, blessed are the poor, blessed are the meek. You know, my boss doesn't like that book though, so what you gonna do? And then I also have a tattoo on the back of my neck that I'm not gonna show you. That is a ancient Mandarin kanji, but it is absolutely for real. Because once when I was at the junction, I had my hair up, and this man that was visiting from China was like, I'm not sure that's real. And I was like so scared. I was so scared. I was like, what? do you mean? And I said, because it means grace, is what it means. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's not real. And he's like, I speak Mandarin, and I don't know that I've seen that. And that's just weird, because it's like a word, but he's like, we need to go back into the hotel where I have Wi-Fi. And so he went back into the hotel, and it took him about 5 or 6 minutes, and he came back and he's like, yes, okay, it is absolutely Mandarin. It's ancient Mandarin. We don't use this word very much anymore. He's like, oh, but you're okay. You know, and I'm like, okay, great. I don't have pizza on the back of my neck. Because that would have been horrific. Could you imagine? I feel so sorry for people who have bad tattoos. I follow an account on Instagram called Sucky Tattoos, and it is like, it is a great account. But so thankfully I don't have, you know, dog or some weird thing tattooed on the back of my neck. It says Grace. And then I have one more tattoo that nobody's seeing, unless you're in the hot spring with me and you happen to catch it, because I ain't getting naked. Oh yeah, those pesky Satanists. Oh, bear paws. I like that. I want to say that oh, Bear Paws says, hi, by the way, that my rainbow looks like the Northern Lights. And it is like the Northern Lights, because it's not a full rainbow. It's not a full rainbow. I just love these colors. And I had actually thought about, no, I don't have anybody's name on me. I have nobody's name on me. Nobody's name is going on my body. Nobody's name is going on my body whatsoever. That is no. I think I might have gotten another donation that I don't know about. If I did, I'm really sorry. I think, Charlie, you just gave me a donation, because I'm getting different information. But if you did, that is awesome, because that's just even closer to Mono Lake. You guys, and I don't know if Mono Lake's in the desert. I just know that Mono Lake has grass, and it has a lake, and it has an ice cream parlor, and a potential hot springs. And those 4 things sound really exciting, because I love the desert, but it's getting a little dusty out here. But wow, Mobile Tech, a few people in the military that had DNR tatted on their chest. That's kind of crazy. That's super crazy. That's intense. I am the least tatted of my family. My brothers are all covered. You know, up until this one, my other 2 are places where you just won't see them, because I'm old school like that. And then I got this one and the bees all like back to back almost. My daughter and I, she did this, or I did this, and then we both did the bees for her birthday one year, because she wanted a tattoo. Mono Lake is a good place to stop. Hot Creek is pretty much closed right now, but a few little ones on the way for $3.95 in the Little Green Church. Shat's Bakery. Yes, that's the bakery I heard about. What? There's a bakery? And I got some family over in that direction, so I get to see my family. That would be really neat, you know? And Bodie. I really want to go to Calico. I used to go to Calico all the time as a kid. All the time. We go to Calico and China Date Ranch. Like normal. Like, hey, let's go out to the date ranch. Let's go to Trona. Because my family is from Trona. My dad's family is from Trona. That's why you'll never hear me speak badly about Trona. I've actually been requested to do a video of Trona. I was trying to get a hold of my aunt to see if maybe she, you know, but it's my adopted dad's sister, so I'm not sure she wants to be part of my YouTube situation. And Mobile Tech says, I'm chasing a girl who lives in Trona right now. Trona is great. I love Trona. And there's a dangerous burger joint. But yeah, Sotero Calico. Like, I mean, obviously, sometimes I want to go places and not make a video, to be honest. Like, every once in a while, you'll hear me, I'll be like, I went to this place, but I didn't make you a video. Just because it's so intense, right? But I will make a video when I go to Calico. I've been asking my mom if she has any pictures of me there, and me and my brother. Because, honestly, we grew up in Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, Calico, Trona. We went to China Date Ranch all the time, and we had a house in Palm Desert as a kid, which is why I hated the desert. I did not like the desert as a kid, because I was like, why the hell do I have to go out here? Like, what the heck? Like, what is this? I always was like, where are we going? Where are we going? What are we doing? And that's also why when there's been a few times where you'll hear me go, my God, it looks like Knott's Berry Farm, because growing up, ghost towns and mining towns, that was Knott's Berry Farm. You went panning for gold. There's the blacksmith place. There's a train. And so I'm happy to report that Knott's Berry Farm isn't that far off from the realistic world of what mining was like and ghost towns and stuff. Whereas like Hollywood sometimes is way off, right? You'll see something on Hollywood or in a movie, and then in real life you're like, oh, that's not the same. That's not the same at all, right? That's this Hollywood. Hooray, hooray, hooray for Hollywood. So that's why I'm pleasantly surprised my childhood memories of ghost towns and what I thought of them have not been bursted. Good old Walter Knott, keeping it real. Oh, hi 909 Adventures. How are you? Welcome. We're just towards the end. I'm doing good. Charles says, I think one of Billy Bob Thornton's first films was done by Trona Pictures. I think it was filmed there too. Oh yeah, Trona Pictures is a super famous production company. Didn't they do like the Toxic Avenger? They did all those super cool like B movies that were like scary but not really scary. I'm pretty sure that's Trona Pictures. Oh, Joe! Joe, that's probably why we vibe so much. Is because we're California girls. California girls know where it's at. Ooh. Not to diss everybody that's not from California. But being from California is really kind of weird. I never knew that it was like a thing until later in life. For sure. I didn't understand that like people looked up to California. It's like, oh, I want to go to California. And it was just California, right? It's just normal. Like Disneyland was normal. You just went to Disneyland. Back when it wasn't $10,000. So yes, okay. Let me check my list here. We did the shout outs to everybody. We did the film he's thinking about is Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town. Oh my God. Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town. Oh, I like that. That sounds exciting. They all wish they could be California. Oh! Hi, Loyal. I talked about the box. Loyal sent me this box. I talked about the box earlier. I'm glad you joined. I'm going to put some leather. It's leather. I'm going to put some leather saver on it. I get the coolest stuff from people. I love all of you. That's why I send mail, not all the time. I'm not like, some people send mail every month. I'm not able to do that. I just try to send mail when I can. And I know it's the end of summer and I've been collecting postcards all summer, so I'm going to send some stuff. And sometimes I send fun stuff for people. You just never know what you're going to get. Like I like to send stickers to Josh. I sent some art to Marcus Dindandau. And he sent me some stuff back, and then I'm making new art, and I don't know. Life is short. Let's have some fun. But definitely share with your friends, because I got to get to 10,000 subscribers. So share me. So share me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, did they raise the price of stamps again? Well, you know what? I bought forever stamps, so I'm okay for a minute. Yes, there's Marcus. There's Marcus. I got Marcus was a cigar. No. What is it that, it's not the cigars you were smoking, it's pipes. Is it pipes? He's like a pipe champion for smoking pipes. Like what? Who knew about that? Did anybody besides Marcus know that there's a competition for pipe smoking? Am I right, Marcus? Was it smoking pipes? I got the book somewhere here. I'd have to find it. I could be talking out the side of my neck at the moment. But good thing life is short because it's getting so I can't afford to live anymore. Well, you know what? And this is the thing that and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. The meme about the new poor and the old poor is just like, what are they complaining about? They don't know. And so for me, that is the one thing that I can be okay with today, is that I haven't had a lot of anything in just a couple years. My first savings when I moved here was grifted away from me, and so from that point on, I haven't had a whole lot of anything, and so I just am kind of okay. You know, because it's not like, you know, I'm not like some of the YouTubers who are making 6 figures and now they make 5, or like some of my friends who made 4 and now they're making 3. I make nothing. And I only made a couple hundred. So when I was starting to like make money, and then all this weird stuff going on with the AI and promoting you and paying you and all that stuff is just like, you know, so that is one thing that I'm absolutely grateful for. I realize that, you know, sometimes when you don't have a lot, then when the world doesn't have a lot, then you're just kind of like you're already there, right? That's how it is that I can make donations like the one that Rocket just pushed me, and then with Charlie, and I can take these little donations of like $2 and $5 and $10 and mix them with some bigger donations, and then we make stuff happen, right? We make stuff happen. And I thank God every day, because it's through all the people like you guys that really do keep everything going. You just do. And every time that I feel like I want to give up because it's the mountain seems too hard, I'll get an email from somebody, I'll get a comment from somebody. Mainly those are the 2 places I get things, but I'll get something that will just strike to the heart. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed that in my video of walking the golf course, in the comments, Herbert goes on to this whole thing about how he had some kind of break golf cart, and he created a smoking area for the maids and stuff. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I would have never known this story if I didn't make this video. And now I want to go back down to Furnace Creek and see if his break area is still there, you know? So the price of freedom is going up soon. And then, yes, Marcus, he was the 2009 World Pipe Smoking Champion. And he's the 6-time Michigan Regional Pipe Smoking Champion. You guys, did you know there's pipe smoking champions in the world? And one of them is my viewer, right? Like, how fun is that? How fun is that? And yes, the greatest fun is that it always the greatest fun involves gasoline, but that's okay. We'll make it happen, because I'm selling art, I'm going to be selling things, I'm selling my life. I'm going to sell all of it. No, just kidding. I'm only going to sell about 50% of it. But sometimes I feel like selling it all. It's the end of the world sale. Oh, man. And then, John, when I get to 100K, yes. When me and Pin and Diane get to 100,000 subscribers, then the pressure is off a little bit. But you can make some money if you have 10 to 20,000 subscribers. Once you 10 is like is when the algorithm starts. It used to be 1 to 3,000 people, and the algorithm started doing stuff. But now, then it went to 10, and now it does almost seem like 100. But yeah, like I don't know. I want to just focus on 10 for a minute because that seems a little bit more attainable. Oh man. Oh, okay, Mobile Tech explained exactly what's going on with YouTube the other day in his latest live stream from the mountains. I will watch that. Admittedly, I had not seen that. I have been gathering information from about 10 other different sources, and I put them together. I just keep piecing together, so I'm sure you are similar. So Mobile Tech says he's being very transparent, and we're going to go into some paperwork here. And then said that his AdSense this month will be 168, and he has 23,000 subs. Pin is barely breaking threshold. I'm aware of that. I know. But let me have my tiny bubble that 10,000 people will magically get me $100 a month. Really, I mentioned before, I have a Patreon. I've got a $1 tip jar. I like to think if I got $1 from everybody that actually watched me, I'd be fine. Actually, I'd be fine. But I cannot pretend to put that onus on anybody. It really is kind of disgraceful that YouTube makes so much money off of its creators and then expects the people that watch the creators to be the people to keep the creator alive. That is kind of a weird thing. It hasn't always been like that, but that does seem to be the shift of this year, is that YouTube wants our time and energy and effort so they can make money, not pay you as much, and at the end of the day just call it good, and then leave you out to dry, that your people, like these people I'm talking to, you, the 30 people that are in here, people that gave me some money, you know. And so I kind of understand that. That's why I kind of revived my Patreon, because that is kind of a tip jar. But honestly, I'm just going to keep going. You guys both, everybody knows that I I love everybody. I love you, Andrea. I think I deserve more than 10K too. Maybe if I start just doing my art and just start talking smack about Pahrump, you know. No, it's okay. Slow and steady, man. Slow and steady is the way to go. So I am going to drop one more link into the thing, and it's something I haven't talked about yet for the day, and I am, hold on. So Mobile Tech just says, to be more transparent, for comparison, you have 230 to 250 Patreons at any given time and made 37K on that. Yeah, see, I will say that you offer a really good product. Larry, there's my second Larry. I was wondering, I'm like, I know I have another Larry on here somewhere. And I know you were late to the game, and some people had come late to the game, and I admittedly had said earlier, where I just kind of asked for forgiveness, that when I launched my Patreon, I had high expectations that I would have more content, and I would have special videos, and I'd be able to do behind the scenes things, and I make content on 7 platforms on top of homeschool children and support people, you know, like I do things, you know, and so I just didn't do anything. I never was able to do anything extra. So just recently I went in and I shifted it, and it's just a tip cup, just like Sarah. Sarah's got a tip cup. I think hers is 20 bucks a month. Mine, you can join for 1 or 5. I was kind of going with the whole Adam the Woo style, because Adam the Woo, he doesn't have a Patreon anymore, but when he did, he never went over $5 because he felt like that's the most you maybe tip sometimes when you get like a to-go order. So that's where I'm at. So you can go there. And I probably should just, I mean, I guess I didn't drop. Okay, hold on. I'll drop that, but this isn't what I wanted to drop originally. There's that, since I keep talking about it. But I do have something special going on today. I have only talked about it on my Facebook page and on my Instagram. As a lot of you know, I am an ambassador for Death Valley Junction. And I love the Junction. And you are going to be getting probably so much Junction content in the next year. You're going to be like, could you please go do something else? No, I'm just kidding. Maybe not. Right? Like, maybe you're like, bring it on, or like, whoa, or like, maybe I don't even make that much, but I've got videos coming, and I've got some more videos coming. But it was Marta Beckett's birthday on the 9th, which was 2 days ago, and the Junction is struggling to get feed for the horses. And so I have created a fundraiser specifically for the horses, specifically for a load of hay. It is special Bermuda that they eat at the Junction. That load of hay will allow us to feed the horses until at least December. The horses have broken into 2 herds since I've talked to you and made a video about it. There's a herd of 9 and a herd of 4. We are halfway there on our goal. If you would like to support wild horses, and I get it, and I want people to know this right here, right now. If you want to give money to the wild horses, but you don't give money to me, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to care. I totally understand there are some people who are like, hey, I don't have an extra dollar for Jenny, but I'll damn well give an extra dollar to the horses, because that's the world we live in, and I don't really care. I'm not going to look badly at you. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, look at that Charlie guy. Charlie gave me $10, but he gave the horses 20. No, I'm not going to do that, although I just technically did that. But I love you, Charlie. I didn't do it to like shame you or anything. I totally say I'm not going to do it, and then I'm like, I'm not going to do this and not go into detail. No, I'm just kidding. It's all good love. But I dropped the link into the bio. I will drop the link later for people who don't sit through 103 minutes of Jenny just talking to you. Good Lord. That's a long time, guys. I hope you're getting your Jenny fixed in. That's just the last thing I'm going to do here is just give a shout out. I've gotten about half of the money so far, which is great, and I will be making a video cashing out the money, going and putting it towards the account, and going with the delivery and all that kind of stuff. Sierra John? Okay, Sierra John got to see Marta Beckett perform once. It was an unforgettable experience. Oh, I wish I got to see her. Oh my God. Marta is the only autograph you have, says Rocket McGrain. That is very special. That is so special. I got to the Junction about a year after she passed, but I talk to her all the time, and I feel like I know her. And it honestly was riding on me a tiny bit. I'll be honest. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this or not. because I'm just like, oh geez, you know, like I got so many things on my plate. Is this really something I can do? And I decided, you know what? I was out at the junction. I was talking with Jesse. I was hanging out there, and it just was riding on me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I did it. And then my good friend Bobby sends me a message and says, do you know that it's Marta's birthday today? And I said, no. I was not aware that today was her birthday, because I know the day she passed. And I know the day of the anniversary of the Opera House, but I did not know it was her birthday. So that showed me this is right. This is really this, because I'm not one to just be like, I'm doing this, right? I have a hard enough time asking for help. When I come on here and I ask like, hey, let's all, you want to throw a couple bucks? That is not easy for me. That is not easy for me. And I'm not going to cry. Take a deep breath. But that to me is just so special, and I'm so excited to be helping with this situation. And hold on a second. Let's go back a little bit. Mobile Tech says Twin Lakes Bridgeport with 2 hot springs is close to Bodie. And Steve, you are absolutely correct. The Knotts family used to own Calico. Now it's a park. The county that it's in owns it. And then Mobile and Charles are talking about the river crossings. It's a great things. Says Joe about she's all over that. And then, okay. I will do more dancing videos. You're not the first people to ask. YouTube tells me to do them. And then I got in my head. And I'm like, dancing videos? Am I going to be a TikToker? But you know what? They are pretty fun. And I really had to tell myself that, like, just because people like to see me dancing. And Glenn! Thank you, Glenn! Aww. Aww, I love you, Glenn. Thank you. Hope you're doing okay. You're the best. You guys are all the best. I just gotta get out of my head. Everybody's probably in their head too much. But okay, I'll do some more dancing videos. As a matter of fact, when I get off of here, I will take my little setup outside, I will turn my camera vertical, and I will dance in my cute little outfit. I'll have to find some kind of like 60s song to, like, because this is like definitely like a Fosse. It's like a Fosse kind of dress going on. And so, yes. Oh, thanks, Mobile Tech. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, all this is fueling the next set of adventures, because I'm going to be able to accomplish Ronald or Roberts. Sorry, I can't find my letter. I'm going to be able to accomplish his videos without these funds. And then I will finish up. I've got, like I mentioned, 5 more Death Valley videos minimum, and at least 3 Junction videos. But all of these funds are going to be as soon as the weather breaks in late September and early October. I am going to go places. I'm going places. I'm doing things. I will be at Beatty Days. So if anybody's in Beatty Days, maybe that's where we can do a meet and greet at the barbecue place. Oh my gosh, that could be really cool. Just one time, I thought about getting a booth, but I don't want to be stuck at a booth. I want to do stuff. Like, I'm putting art in the art contest. I didn't see any kind of pie eating contest or anything. There's a 5K, but I'm not a big runner. But maybe that's where we do a little meet and greet. Michael, it's right around Halloween. It's like the weekend before Halloween, I think. And then John says you should do what you enjoy. It shows in your videos. Yes. That's true, huh? That's totally true. It does. And then, for those of you who have been on with me for the last 2 hours, you can see why I had to be very careful about ranting. Right? Because next thing I know, I'm just like, you cannot trust any reviews in Pahrump except for me. No, just kidding. And what's with this sneaky business online of people pretending to eat there? They're not really eating there. Oh, I crack myself up. Oh, Mobile Tech has a Death Valley trip for the middle of November, but he can't make it to Beatty Days too. Yeah, I had to pick. I had to pick between Goldfield Days and Beatty Days. And I've been to Goldfield Days. I've got 3 videos on it. So I went ahead and skipped Goldfield Days, and I'm putting my efforts into Beatty Days because I've never been. And I think that would be, I think that's a good way to be. And it worked out okay because apparently this year at Goldfield Days, there was tons of YouTubers. It was like YouTube heaven out there. I saw at least 4 different YouTube videos, if not 5. The year I was there was nobody. It was just me and Mary and the kids. And nobody's doing videos. And then this year it was like, poof, it blew up. Which is good for them. I love Goldfield. I love Goldfield. So, there are RV parks in Beatty, I believe. I believe there's RV parks in Beatty. There's got to be, right? Yeah, there's got to be. Mobile Tech, they were all YouTubing each other on Wander Hussy's video. Oh, of course. I know, I saw Ross's video, and Ross is like, I'm here, and there's Sarah. Oh, I'm here, and there's like the you know. But I don't know if you guys went and saw the one-legged miner. He was in the mucking contest. That was pretty cool. I didn't know there was a mucking contest. That might be new. I know there's a mucking contest at Jim Butler Days. I didn't know there was one at Goldfield. I think that might be new. There wasn't one the year I was there. I do know this year at Goldfield Days, they weren't able to have their chili cook-off for some weird reason. Something about health inspections. And so, yeah, that's kind of all. Is everybody full? Is everybody full? I hardly ate any pizza. We've been talking for 2 hours. And look at that's I'm not even 1 slice down. But I am out of root beer. What is mucking? Mucking is getting all the stuff out of the mine. You gotta muck it out of the mine. Tonopah High School, their mascot is a mucker. Yes. A&W. I almost always get A&W unless I need caffeine, and then I'll get Barks. But in the house, we always have A&W because there's no caffeine. Because I'm trying to get those kids to be as tall as they possibly can. And caffeine stunts your growth. And yeah, Mobile Tech says he always reads the bad reviews. And John mentions that 2 stars are the most informative. 1 star could be stupid and trolls. And 2 stars are more genuine. You know, John, that's a great point. That's an absolutely great point. Because if you remove the 1s and the 5s, that probably gives you a better idea of what's really going on. You know, because like I mentioned, I never leave a 5-star review because there's always room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. I think there's 1 or 2 places that I've ever been that I felt like, nope, you did it. I don't think you could get any better. I don't think you could get any better. But at that restaurant, our service could have got better. So then that gets rid of that part of a star, right? For food, yeah, but not for everything together. And then Mobile says shoveling the debris from the blast you just did into the ore cart. You muck it out. So that was the contest, is putting all this stuff in the ore cart. So that's okay. Maybe next year Pin will be in the area and Andrea and I can be part of the mucking contest. As Andrea's yelling into the television right now going, I'm not mucking in Goldfield. I'm not mucking in Goldfield. You're coming up north. Oh, man. Now you're hungry. And Marcus, first tax-paying job was $1.10 an hour at A&W. There's still an A&W in Modesto. Oh! One more shout out. September 14th, 15th, and 16th, I believe, or 15th, 16th, and 17th, is the Las Vegas Greek Food Festival. I will be there. I will be there at the food festival. If you are in the area or you're in Vegas on that weekend, get yourself a ticket, get yourself over, come dance, come have some dolmas, come eat some baklava, pastisio, and it's going to be a great time. That's another place that I'm going to give a shout out. I will be there. Be there, be square. If you're in Modesto, Modesto has their Greek food festival that same weekend, so I can't go back home to Modesto to go to the food festival. But yeah, see, Andrea says, yep, I'm going where it's cooler. That works. Dave worked on a ranch in 1980, and I got paid $15 a day with room and board. You know, Brooke, who used to work at the Junction, is got a gig right now with this. It's like Xantera, who works in Death Valley and runs the Furnace Creek, put her up. She gets paid $20 an hour, $20 a month for her apartment, and she's on some kind of island in Michigan that has no cars. It's absolutely, she was sending me pictures yesterday. I was like, that's a job. I want to get out of Dodge. I mean, I love Pahrump, but like, I'm going to go live on an island for the summer. Maybe next summer I'll ditch my brother and be like, okay, I'm leaving. And I'm going to go do something and I'll be back. You never know. Oh. Oh, hey, Ralph. Northwest Nevada, everywhere. Hi, Ralph. It's okay. I went early today. I went online way early today because I was trying. I'm pretty sure, I think this worked. I think it worked out great. I don't think I glitched too much. I don't think I dropped. I think not competing with the children for internet is a great idea. I think that's a really good idea. And but I do realize that we have less people in today just because of the fact that it's the middle of the day. A lot of my viewers work. A lot of my viewers don't come online until the evening, so I'm sure I'll get some replays. And then if you've made it to the end of the video and you would like to comment when you think the best time for me to live is for you, you can do that down below. Because I realized going live that I miss everybody. I want to go live a little bit more. I'll come back to going live. Not every week. That's a little intense for me. But I will come live and won't do so much paperwork. We'll just hang out and have fun. You know, maybe I'll come on and build Lego. I got this set for my birthday to build next because Lego flowers do not die in my hauler. And a viewer got this off my Amazon list for me for my birthday, which was in February. Yeah, I know, but it took me 4 months to build the succulents because it's like, well, as soon as I build it, then it's built. I don't know. I just hold on to it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to build it yet. But I'm going to build this soon. So then we can just hang out, chill, you know? Adventure awaits. Yes, it does. A remote live would be fun if I have service. I could try that. I will try that at the junction. Maybe that's what I'll try at the junction. That could be a good place. There's not strong enough service in Shoshone. I would have to be piggybacking off of something. Maybe in Pahrump. Maybe in Pahrump. I was trying to think about that today, because even today I was thinking if I didn't want to go live in my hauler, where would I go? And I can't go live at the library. I don't have one of those jetpack things, and so I'm not sure how using my data that would work. I'm not going to Starbucks to go live. So yeah, I'm kind of in a, like, there's not a whole lot of places in town that you can just decide to go live. So, you know. And Mobile Tech says, I don't like working too late on Friday, so I'm usually done by 1. It's too hot in Pahrump. Yep. Like I said, I want a patch. I survive the extreme desert every summer. Every summer. But actually, I mean, you guys realize I used to work in the greenhouse, right, at Death Valley Junction? I used to do physical labor in the greenhouse during the summer. When it'd be like 115 outside, I'd be doing physical labor. So I'm pretty acclimated to the situation of like, hey, it's not so hot outside. Like, my friend Charlie was like a coyote. For fuck's sakes, what's going on? Like, none of my family wants to come visit me because they're just like, it's insane, you live in hell. And I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't. But that's okay, because I can be here and I'll just share it with you. And then you guys can be where you're at. Go up to Clark Mountain if they have service. Oh yeah, that might be a try. I just gotta be a little more adventurous. As I mentioned once or twice during this live stream, unbeknownst to all of you folks, I've been struggling very hard with my self-esteem and complex PTSD, and working on solving that or fixing it or getting to a spot where I don't have to be working on it. And so as I've just been doing stuff that, and I found it hard to just be like, hi, I'm here, and you want to go to counseling with me? You want to go to counseling with me? That'd be so much fun. Go to counseling, you'll hear all my problems, and yeah, just kidding. I'm being silly now. I'm being silly now. But I have been on for 2 hours, I can officially say, which means I do have to go inside because little Miss Autumn, my niece, is waiting for me. I told her 2 hours would be the longest I'd be on, but she has an English test to do today, and she has an IEP at school, and so she has a little bit of a learning disability, and how I help her and supplement her with her homeschooling is that we take our quizzes together. So I'm not giving her the answers. I'm not like solving things for her, but we discovered through summer school that when she talks out loud and says the question and reads the answers, and then I can say to her, hey, what are you trying to solve? Poyo's problem solving principle is what we work with. Poyo's problem solving principle, very simple, 4 steps. That she's just so much better. She's just so much better at getting the grades that are inside of her brain. And so that's what I'm going to go do right now, is I'm going to go help my niece and be her listener, because then if she tells me, well, I'm trying to solve for this, and then I can say, I think you might have the wrong thing you're solving for. Why don't you look up the definition? Why don't you read it again? And then she will, and then once she gets the right definition as to what she's trying to solve, if she gets the wrong answer, she gets the wrong answer. But at least with her comprehension and with the IEP that we have in place, it's helpful for her to be able to do that. And so that's one of the things how I support her in school. How I support Colton in school is with math. I teach him math. I'm his math teacher. So That's fun. And so, if you want hell heat, I'll watch your lives. And visited Brickworks once. They let us in to walk to the end of the kiln and straight back out again. Over 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. You know, I got that video when I was down in the junction. I was down in Death Valley. It was 134. You couldn't breathe. Don't ever want to be like that again. That was exciting, but, you know, I'm okay with staying out of the 130s. Totally okay with that. And Glenn, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Glenn joined. He is the gas membership because for $5 I get 1 gallon of gas. Well, technically I get a gallon and a quarter. Gallon and a half, maybe? I get a gallon and a half. But now I have 2 Patreons, Glenn and Steve. Woo! If you want to be a Patreon, you can be a Patreon for $1 or $5. But all that being said, Cody says, you're amazing teachers. What other talents are you hiding in there? Ooh, wait, you just have to find out. You'll see. I got art coming. I'm just, as my godmother says, I am a very special person. I'm beginning to realize what she means by that. There's nobody in the world like me. That's for certain. And yes, thank you. I appreciate the compliment because I think I'm a good teacher. Although, you know, I'm a little strict sometimes, but that's okay. And I'm not ready to help with calculus. I don't know. Hopefully Colton stops at trig. Oh my gosh. So, okay. That was a nice live. Yep, special Jen. Oh my God, Mobile Tech, you know what's so funny about that? Is that in 2023, to say special Jen is probably much different than to say, oh, it's special Jen in the 70s or the 80s. Oh my God, right? Like, oh no, there's special Jen in the 80s probably means something much different than 2023. I'm assuming that compliment. Oh man. And yes, Michael, I'm glad you're okay. I have emailed Michael you back, but I think they get lost in your emails. I really do. But I have another email I'll be sent later this week to you because I answered some of your questions. And yeah, I know, Glenn. Why that makes me think of the R word, I don't know. But it's okay. Oh God. That's only because I have a friend that named Special Dave, and he's just so special. It's kind of funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, nice live, Larry. I did it, and John. Yeah, I know. I have not done calculus, pre-calculus, or trigonometry in 30 years, so I'm not going to be able to help him when I get there. I can do everything up to Algebra 2, and then with some refreshing of my memory, geometry's coming back. Like slopes. When's the last time you did a slope? Yeah, right? And almost forgot. Oh, Charles wanted to let everybody know, and I did see this online, that he drove past the dinosaur at Cabazon, and they painted one of the big T-Rexes with a bow tie and a little shirt and tennis shoes for Pee-wee. Because Pee-wee passed on. Paul Rubens. It's so cool. That was very sweet of them. Man, we're going to watch that movie this weekend. We actually just watched it recently, but I told my brother we need to watch it again. So, okay, everyone. Thank you very much for coming to this midsummer live stream extravaganza and having a half a piece of pizza with me. I didn't want to make it a mukbang. Oh, thank you, John. Yay! We're doing it, people. We're doing it. All together now. 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 Because we're all together now, right? We're just a big team. Stickers coming soon. And I have business cards now. Pin! Before I go, I have business cards. I totally forgot to tell her. She has been bugging me to get business cards. Hold on, everybody. And then we'll go real quick. Sorry, I know I was saying together. I was all singing, let's go, goodbye, goodbye. So I'm working on stickers. That's coming next. But I got business cards. It's a Girl in the Desert Productions. And then on the back, it's got me and my email and my YouTube and my Instagram and a QR code that goes to everything. And so I did it. I know they are. Andrea is so good. She's got business cards everywhere. Real quick before I go, I'll tell you. I'm with Andrea. We witnessed a car accident. Everybody's fine. And Andrea manages to slip a business card on the accident report that we filled out to give it back to the sheriffs. And I'm like, and then they're talking and she's like, yeah, follow my channel. And he's like, oh yeah, cool, I like this stuff. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I need business cards. I know they leave them everywhere, but I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen Andrea just like pull them out from behind her head, like just out of her ear. She's like, oh, hi. I don't know where she keeps them. I'm assuming in her pockets or something, but seriously, that woman. Okay, Ralph, I know. And I'll say this one more time because you missed it. I'm going to start dancing more. I was in my head thinking that wasn't a good thing. And what am I doing dancing? Like, this is silly. And it really is kind of silly, but it's fun. And I like it. And I don't care that it's just fun and silly. And it's not history and it's not hiking. And I was in my head about it. And now I'm not. And so we're going to get some dancing videos. Maybe once a week. Maybe just drop one like every Monday, Friday. What day of a week? I don't know what day to drop it. And yes, I'm going to have some stickers, but I'm going to give everybody stickers. Everybody that's been supporting me for the last 3 years, you're going to get a sticker. I'm just going to give it to you. Get it to you somehow if you sent me mail or something. And I know, I know. I just don't comprehend on the whole sex sells, fun sells, you know, but that's okay. This dress is to die for. It's so cute and so cool. I'm going to go outside and make a dancing short. So the busted. Yes, Bear Paws. Thank you. Nice seeing everyone. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I will have plenty of Death Valley stuff for you next week. You will hear me share my Etsy when that's available. And other than that, I hope you all will be grateful. I'm so grateful for everybody. Even my haters, even the people who want to see me fail, even the people that don't like me. I'm grateful for you because you make me a better person. And make good choices in your own adventures. I think the live stream was a great choice. Thank you everybody for being like, hello. I know Charles is like, dang it, Jenny, took you forever. And I will catch you on the flip side. Okay? Okay, have a great night, everybody. Bye.